Welcome to Inside the 87's, your home for updates of one of the top junior hockey programs in the EHL, located in the hockey hotbed of New Jersey, where hockey players are molded for the next level, the 87 way.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Inside the 87's. My name is Anthony DiPaolo. This week, our digital content coordinator, Alyssa Morrison, will have a one-on-one chat with Joe Guercio as he talks about going up from the ranks in the EHL Premier Team to the EHL squad this past season. After that, we will continue our Top 10 Plays of the Year segment. So we'll throw it off to Alyssa and Joe. This is Inside the 87's.
I'm with Joe Guercio, and today's episode is going to be really just about your transformation from being an EHLP player to becoming an EHL player. Obviously you play for the 87's, but what a lot of people don't know is that you've known Adam Hooley for a long time. Do you want to give us a gist of the start of your relationship and how that went down?
Yeah, so me and Hooley probably met when I was about 12, 13. I was cut from his midget American team, so I guess I was like 14, 15. And they were really good that year. Hooley's known for having really good teams, and I got to practice with his team. I didn't get to play for his team, though. And they went to districts. Actually, Johnny Jackson was on that team. I think that's the only kid still playing now. But, he had a lot of great kids from all around. And I felt like I was good enough to be on the team. But, it is what it is. And that's kind of where it all started. I loved his practices. Loved the way he did it. You could just tell how much he cared a lot. And that's a big thing when it comes to, I think, a player finding where they fit in. A coach who cares and takes it seriously and isn't just like showing up just because he has to. They want to win, and you can tell by Hooley's track record, he'll do anything to win. He says it all the time. Whether or not it hurts people's feelings, that's a different story. But it is what it is, and that's I like that mentality, and I think that's why I love playing for him, and I want to keep playing for him, and I want him to develop me into a better player.
Great. I want to talk about how you actually started on the EHLP team at the New Jersey 87's. Talk about how the EHLP team has developed you as a player, and if that process really worked and stuck with you.
Yeah, it kind of showed. It's funny. He has a very specific system, and his practices are very involved in following that system, and not so much. It kind of takes. I don't want to say takes your skill out of the game, but you can be a less skilled player, and he can teach you how to be a smart player. And skill isn't I'll be honest. I don't have the most skill on the team. I never have, and that's not who I am as a player. And he made me realize that. It kind of hurt. But it also helped me. He taught me how to be a smart player and use my strengths within his system, and it kind of just simplified my game, and it just transformed the way I play. His systems they just create a lot of time and space, and you work as a team, and it kind of takes the individuality out of it. And you can see by how many good players we've had on our team, and how many guys go in and out. We've had really good players leave because they don't get to be the player they want to be. But at the end of the day, it's not about the individual, it's about the team. And it creates a great atmosphere, and it within the locker room, it kind of governs itself, and all the weak links kind of find their home somewhere else. Mm-hmm. And that's good. And I think that's what his system really does the best. It's get guys who want to play, who are willing to not be as individual as they're used to being.
That was a great answer. And I think you really explained that sticking to the process was not only beneficial for you, but every player who's done it. Whether they moved up or not, they're still gaining information and becoming a better player throughout that. So that's really awesome. What I want to talk about next is what made you stay with the 87's. You obviously had an opportunity to go down south and play for an EHL team. And not to say that was an easy grab or anything by all means, but you came back to the 87's, and what made you stay with that organization, the EHL, instead of going to the USPHL, being on the elite or the premier team?
It mostly came down to when you go and talk to other coaches, or you see where other kids on other teams, and they'll talk to you. They'll tell you, yeah, you should come play here. It's you kind of get a glimpse at what they're about, and it's just not the same. And it's very obvious by the way we carry ourselves, the work ethic that is put into the 87's, and it's really a big difference from. I would say there's probably only like 2 or 3 other teams like the 87's in the league that we're in. It kind of spreads out throughout the league, but between the EHL and the USPHL, I don't know which one's better. Is it elite? Elite's better, right? The drop off from where I'm at now to any other team in any of those leagues is significant, and I don't think that they're gonna take me to where I want to be, or help me put my best foot forward with colleges and going to that next level.
Mm-hmm. I think too that a lot of players in the junior league or any league just assume that college is like the next step, and the Premier League really does a great job at grooming kids to get to the next level, which is the EHL, and then they do a great job preparing kids for the next level, which is usually a D3 team. Is that something that's in your future? Do you see yourself playing for a college hockey team?
That's the goal. Right now, in my opinion, it's a little up in the air whether or not we're going to have a season or not. I really hope we do. I've put in 2 years now, and it all comes down to this last year, and put in a lot of work towards it. I sat my games out. I got scratched a lot last year, but I always worked hard in practice. I got cut from the EHL team. I only got called up to play in like two games, I think it was. So, and I practiced with them every day, even though I had P practice, and it's just the whole process. It's funny how you say the P team like grooms kids for the EHL. What I think is it weeds out the kids who don't wanna keep playing, and it makes you realize real quick how serious you have to take it, how much work you have to put in. And it's not just handed to you. It's not just the next step. You have to grow up a little bit and grow into a player that is going to be wanted by teams. Not just you are going to be wanted. There's somewhere for you, because that's not the case. There's plenty of kids who come in the league and figure out that they don't want to play in college. It's too much. It's not what they want. And as long as you're willing to put in the time and the effort and do what's required of you. Especially the 87's, it'll take you to the next level.
Mm-hmm. I really appreciate how you explained that it kind of almost weeds people out, like who's willing to work harder, who's willing to take their game to the next level to make it to the EHL. I think programs like the 87's, like Boston Junior Rangers, that have the 2 teams, the 2 options, are really doing what the EHL stands for, which is preparing kids. And a lot of teams just sign kids to win, and that's it. Whereas, the organizations like 87's are not only doing that, but they're also looking at their future. How are they going to be groomed for the next level of hockey? And even just figuring out where the right fit for them in a program at school, that's where the 87's is really setting themselves apart, because not only are they grooming, players to be prepared for the next level, but also to look at it as a whole. You're playing college hockey, not just hockey. You're going to school too.
Yeah, it's Julio went through the whole process, so he knows firsthand. He went to prep school, and then he ended up. I forget exactly where he went, but so did Maddie. He played at Scranton. They're both great coaches. They both went through the whole process. They know what it takes, and what they kind of break you down as a person. They figure out your strengths, weaknesses, and they kind of figure out how to make you a coachable player, which is big for going to the next level. They're good at putting their time and effort into each individual kid to make sure that they're mature enough and that they are ready and that they are going to succeed at the next level, not just get there. not just be there, but to make an impact when you're there, and how to do that. And that's a big thing when it comes to this junior hockey before college.
I think you hit it on the head perfectly. They've been through it, and that's kind of what makes them a great example and a great coach, because they know what it takes. They've been through that process, and they are, handling you guys as if it was them. So I think that's great, and thank you so much for explaining that. That's all I have for questions, but I really think that this episode did something good for players either looking at, signing to an EHLP team, or even being wary of or on the fence of choosing between each of the teams. Like, who are they going to try out for? Are they going to get discouraged for making a P team over the EHL? I think you really explained it well, that it is a grooming system. It is a process. And if you trust it and do it well, then you will be successful.
Yep.
Thank you so much for joining me on this interview. I really appreciate it, and I will see you in the season.
All right. Thank you.
We'd like to thank Joe Guercio for joining the show. Coming up next, we continue our Top Plays of the Year segment. At play number 7, it's a matchup between the 87's and the Philadelphia Revolution in the EHL Premier Division, and Cam Sitkowski, who is reunited with his younger brother Luke on the Premier team, scored the game-winning goal in overtime off a beautiful move. He poked the puck past the defender, got around him, and slipped the shot 5-hole to win the game. Now, the Revolution did not have any audio on this broadcast clip, and we apologize for that, but you can still get a feel for how exciting that moment was, because the EHL team, who had also played in Philadelphia that day, were in attendance for the game, and you can see them going absolutely crazy when Cam scored the goal. So here it is, the overtime winner by Cam Sitkowski as Top Play number 7.